May I warmly welcome each one of you, Superstars team, to this training. I know in the call we have people who just joined us recently. As usual, feel free to let us know where you are logging in from, but I can see some relatively new members. Welcome. We say that you must really train very hard so that you can have it easy when you are building the business. So you train hard, fight easy. That's a military rule, and it works very well in our business. And our training today is basically to help us understand how do we operate at a very high level, because we say our business is in such a way that you only succeed to the level that you have grown. We don't want you to operate at low levels. We want you to operate at that executive level, very strategic levels. And so our topic is really on how do you become a very effective CEO of your own business. So many wants to underline there, effective, meaning it's not just being a CEO, it's being effective. And our trainer will take us through that. Then you be your own CEO, meaning you are not a follower. You don't just sit back. And in your own business, meaning you're not doing it for anyone else, but for yourself. Very well thought wording there. And without much ado, I want to welcome the trainer for the day. This is someone who has done a lot out there. In his brief introduction, for the sake of those who are new, you'll notice that he's successful in other circles because of taking that high level leadership. And so he's the best to take us through today's training. He paid a high price for him to be an effective CEO. And so if you allow me, I will go ahead and invite our director, our upcoming software director, anytime, Father Lucas Juma. Father Lucas, if you can hear me, please take it away.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I hope I'm clear enough and also I'm able to be seen
Both are
and
confirmed.
glad to take this opportunity on such a day that we don't take for granted. As has been introduced, my name is Father Lucas Juma and I'm a priest, very busy person. But I took up this business first and foremost because of the health of my mom. And I found out that it is a vehicle that can also help other people and also help me to realize my dreams in a big way, which is not bad. And so it has been some time to learn between the work so that I could grow to where I have reached, that is director level. And my focus is also to move even further from Sapphire to Ruby and even to president team member. That is my goal. And as I have said, it didn't come, even the level that I have reached, it didn't come just like that. The director level for someone to reach, it is some work. It is work to be done. And the first thing that one needs to do is to be able to realize that this is a business. And a business that you have to take responsibility yourself. So the topic that we have today is quite timely, becoming an effective CEO of your business. When I was given this topic, I decided to think on how to divide these words and be able to understand them. So I would like to ask each one of you, have you ever heard the saying, you are the CEO of your business? It has been said several times by our leaders in the business, including the leaders in the Neolife company. Many times that we have the chance to meet several leaders, even those who have succeeded, even from other countries, we usually hear this: you are the CEO of your business. It is true, but remember that as the Chief Executive Officer, CEO simply means Chief Executive Officer. So it is true that each one of us is the Chief Executive Officer of our businesses. We start by explaining the three initials, that is CEO. The C there is the chief. And chief, according to me, means you are the main. You are the biggest. You are the major one. And then the next one is executive. Executive comes from the verb to execute. So the chief executive is the main person who executes. And then the O there is the officer. Officer is well known as the person who is in charge. Therefore, the three initials, the CEO, in this case is the main person who is in charge of all the activities that take place in the business. Therefore, if you are told that you are the CEO of your business, simply means that you are the main person who is to be in charge of all the activities that take place in your business. Now, this requires the resolve and the decision to own your business. You need to resolve, you need to decide. Even if you got registered yesterday or today evening or a month ago or a year or 3 years ago, but it comes a time when you decide and say, now I want to take charge. And when you take charge, then things start to move. You need to say, if it is to be, it is up to me. If it is to be, it is up to me. If it is to succeed, it is up to me. Therefore, each one of us must work intentionally. There is that intentionality of purpose. You must be intentional in doing a few things. And in Kiswahili, this is what we call kujituma. You must push yourself or you must send yourself so that you push yourself to do what is required to be done for the business to move in the right direction. So there are a few things that we must do, that I must do as the CEO. Number one, to have a vision, to know where I want to go in the next 1 year. In the next 3 months, actually, there is the short-term vision and the long-term vision. So the first thing is to know, in the next 1 week, what do I want to achieve? In the next 1 month, what do I want to achieve? What about in the next 3 months? And what about 6 months? What about in the next 1 year? So in the next 3 years, therefore, what do I want to achieve? This is what we call the vision or the goal, the short term and the long term. For example, I may say I would like to become a PT in the next 4 years or 5 years. So that is a long-term goal, but I'm not going to jump from now to PT. I must pass through Sapphire Director, then 1 Ruby, then 2 Ruby, then 3 Ruby, and then finally to 4 Ruby, which is the PT. Now, these steps that are supposed to be made by me must be planned, must be organized, and strategically put so that I achieve them step by step. So that is the first one, having a vision. And then number two is making monthly plans. We divide the year into 12. Each month is on its own. And this is because each month the company closes the account and pays each one of us according to the results that we have achieved. And therefore, for us to move from one step to another, we need to go month by month. So there is the monthly plans, for example, the personal points, the total points, the people to be sponsored, and then the step to be achieved. I want to give an example. For example, the month of March that we are in. So this plan is done at the beginning of the month, and we say, how many personal points do I want to make? It is also very important to understand the requirements of the company. For example, that you are supposed to do personal points 100 or more and not less. And therefore, so I make that written somewhere. Personal points, let us say, for example, 300 or 400. Then what about the total points? That means the personal points plus the points that are made by the team. Now, if I put them together, I say, for example, my personal points are 300, and my team members, the total of them will give me 5,700. So if I put the total, it will be 6,000 points. Therefore, I say total points 6,000. What about the people I would like to sponsor? I know that each one of us has understood by now that sponsoring is the heartbeat of everything in our success in this business. Therefore, every time that we begin a month, it is good to strategically put ourselves to be able to sponsor. And the company has put an incentive whereby if you sponsor 3 people within that 1 month, and sponsoring them, each one doing 100 personal points within that sponsoring time, then the person who has sponsored these 3 people within that 1 month earns an incentive. The main reason for this is to help us to really push ourselves harder and achieve the goal of sponsoring. Because when we sponsor, we build a stronger team. Therefore, you as the CEO of your business has to say, how many people do I want to sponsor this month? And you write them down. So those are 2 parts. Then the third one is prospecting. These are a few activities that the CEO of the business must do. Prospecting means talking to people so that some of them may become customers and others may become members as they join the team. Prospecting is getting into close relationships with new people that you never knew before and turn them into friends and making them into future team members or customers. And then there is also the presenting of the business. That is what we call the BOP, the business opportunity presentation. And so you, as the CEO of your business, need to be able to understand how the business works and be able to present the business methodology or the success is the success secret to new people. That is what is going to help them to be able to join. You also need to be able to understand much about the products, and then you are able to share this with the people, especially new people who may need our products. And then you need to develop your provisional statement of the problem That means what? That means that you are someone who is has already put the goal down. You want to move from A to B, from this station to the next station. Your main problem is what? My main problem is to become a manager, or my main problem is from manager to senior manager, or from senior manager to executive manager. What do I need? You need to state it clearly, because you must travel a path that is well known. Then you remember, as I said at the beginning, that you are in charge. You are in charge of running your business. The CEO is somebody who is in charge. I want to give an example of Kendra Brasfield. Kendra Brasfield is the CEO of Neolife Company. But now, when I register, or when you register, so that you get a license, you are running your own business. So don't wait for Kendra Brasfield to help you run your business. Herself, she has her responsibility by making sure that we get the products in time and everything runs smoothly. When we make our orders, somebody is there to serve us. But now you, as an individual, you take that charge that Kendra Brasfield is doing in the whole company, and you take it in your little company there. That is your own business. So being in charge of running your business will make you be conscious of every activity that is being executed each day. And therefore, you prepare the daily plan of activities, prepare the daily activities, and especially the plan of activities is supposed to be prepared the night before. Before you go to sleep, prepare what you are going to do tomorrow. For example, this evening when you are going to sleep, prepare a list of activities that you are going to do. We usually call them to-do list. What are the activities that are going to bring success to your business that you must do tomorrow? I give an example of talking to new people. That is, you have already prospected, but that list that you have prospected, now you want to talk to the 5 people, presenting to them the business on how it works. The main intention is to help them to understand the business so that they can join your team. Nobody else is going to do it for you. You are the one who is going to push yourself and do it. Many of the times we wait for the sponsor, we wait for the upline, we wait for our upline director to push us, to say, what are you doing today? Now it is time to take charge. It is time to take responsibility and remind yourself. That is what I called kujituma. And then you are the one to make the strategy. Sit down, be creative. The CEO is someone who is creative enough to know that this company wants to move from this level to the next level. Something that has not worked for the last 3 years need to be changed. Something that has not worked for me, even though it is working for other people, I need to be creative enough to be able to say, now I have to change the tactics. So you prepare the plan, and then you make a good strategy. And then another thing that you must do as the CEO is to execute the activities of each day. So it is not enough just to make a plan. If you make a plan that you are going to make an order today, make that order. You must make that order. If you have put into your plan that you are going to talk to customers, you must execute that. You must be able to talk to those customers you planned to talk to. Of course, things might not move the way it is expected, but it is quite important to understand that if I wanted to talk to 5 people and I've only talked to 3 today because the 2 that I wanted to talk to were not able, I was not able to get them on phone, for example, I may be able to compensate for those the next day. So the next day I planned to talk to 5, but yesterday I talked to 3. So the 2 that I was supposed to talk to yesterday, now I can add them to the list of tomorrow so that instead of talking to 5, I talk to 7. And this is what we call pushing yourself to do it come what may. For you to get big results, you must put big input. You must sacrifice big enough. So executing the activities of each day and making sure that each day counts. And then something else is that you must be in full control. Be in full control. At a given moment, we start crying and say, I don't know why. I don't know why my business is not moving. I don't know why things are not working well for me. Now, it is good to sit down and evaluate and see why. Sometimes it is quite important, and actually, at this level, you are applying director, or even leaders who are in your team can help you to understand things that are not going on well and how you can help to improve them. But it is you to push yourself, actually. Now, you remember that something else you need to do as the CEO is to build a culture that will be followed by all. Building a culture of success, a culture of responsibility, a culture of self push, a culture of kujituma. I am going to use this word several times, kujituma, not waiting for leaders to tell you to do what you are supposed to do. A culture of getting excited and celebrating your results, even though they may be very small. Remember that even that one is a strategy for success. So building a certain culture helps even the team members who come after you to be able to get a clear roadmap of success. There are key responsibilities of a CEO, and I summarize them into 2. The first one, from all that I have said, is setting the vision. That means a clear long-term purpose. The tasks that bring good results. Number 2, making sure there is income being generated. We always talk of income generating activities. And then, as a CEO, you need to make sure that you sustain the life of your business by building a strong team which is stable. A strong team which is stable. And then doing evaluation on the progress of your business on monthly basis, quarterly basis, and even annual basis. Once you are finishing the year, look back and see what worked, what didn't work. So what worked must be improved, what didn't work must be changed. Are you growing or you are stagnant? If you are stagnant, every month if you evaluate and find you are stagnant, are you going to remain there? No. You must really sit down and see what can I do so that I can come out of this quagmire. There is something that is not supposed to be forgotten. That is what we call personal development. You have to take trainings seriously as the CEO. We never have CEOs who are ignorant. And so it is that knowledge that you need so that you can push your business to the next level. You must take trainings seriously. Your business grows only as much as you grow. And that is the reason why we have this Tuesday training. We have some training on Thursdays. We have some trainings on Sunday for products and etc. And some other physical trainings that we also have in our teams. These trainings help us to grow from one level to another. I would like to share that before I grew to director, those days we did not have these Zoom meetings. Personally, I was living in Siaya County those days, and I would travel all the way to Nairobi to attend physical trainings for me to be able to grow. And actually, that is what helped me to grow to the level of director. Then there is working hard on duplication. As you bring people to your team, make sure you duplicate what works. Whatever you do, let the team be able to do. If they do what you do, you grow. So if you want them to do 100 personal points, do 100 personal points, then let them duplicate. If you want them to sponsor, make sure you sponsor so that they can duplicate what you are doing. So duplication is quite important, and the team members will be people who want to grow the way you want to grow. In other words, we do say duplicate yourself in your team. The team needs to reflect who you are. The same way workers in the organization, and actually the whole team in an organization, always reflect who the CEO is. So make sure that you be the best so that you duplicate also those who are the best. Now, focus on the growth of others as well. Once you bring your team by sponsoring them, make sure also that you help them to grow. Make sure that they attend trainings. You help them to get that opportunity of training so that they can also grow like you. When they grow, you grow for sure. In summary, so that I don't go very far. Your job as a CEO, and now I am summarizing. Your job as a CEO is not to do the job, but to determine the job to be done. I repeat, your job as a CEO is not to do the job. You are not the worker, but to determine the job to be done. Because you are the leader, you are the officer, you are the boss. You determine what is supposed to be done in your team, in your business. Therefore, you have two things to guide you. One, the vision. You have to set the tone of where the business is supposed to go. And that is what we call the vision. And number two, networking. You are the person to be able to strike strategic relationships. Remember that our business is a business of relationships. And this is what we call networking. Therefore, a CEO is one who is visionary and one who is ready to network. Because when you network, you bring new people to the business and to the team, and with a vision, they are able to achieve what you want them to achieve. Otherwise, we stop there, and I hand back the microphone to our PT. Thank you so much for listening, and may God bless us to move to the next level. Thank you, my dear CEOs.
Thank you, fellow CEO. Wonderful, wonderful session there by Father Lucas. I know we've picked so much. We've learned so much. And thank you, Father Lucas, for preparing thoroughly and thinking about the entire topic, 360 degrees. We really appreciate that. Even if this was not Superstars team training, place it in any company out there, and it becomes very impactful. Thank you so much, Father Lucas. Now, allow me to ask all of us members. Uh, I'm now behaving like a teacher that I am. Please, down there, I want you to write for me. What is your number one takeaway? 1 point. Don't write 2 points. There is that one that you felt, oh, this is another one. Your number one takeaway. 1 minute for that. If you don't type, then we will know that you are not in the training. It's just a gadget. I'm just testing to see who are here because that training is very helpful. And I believe that it's going to take us to another level. Aha, Kunjituma, always, Susan. Thank you. You know, Julia, take charge of your business. I am in charge, the CEO, Balozi, sure. There's a Balozi, surely you just have to be a CEO, yes. 30 more seconds. I'm the CEO. Yes, Meriboshi. 25 seconds to Jitume to be the CEO of your own life. Train, Zuleha. Yes, and Enoch. 15 seconds. Do we have some people who are not in the training? That can be so sad. Yes, prospecting and attending trainings. Once without action is dead. I must make plan. Kujituma. Hey, this Kujituma has really hit people hand. Hey, Kujituma. Gaudential and me. Florence, set goals. Christine, duplication. Gladys Mola, Kujituma. All right. I think I'll stop at this. I'm happy to see that we've picked some points. Be focused in the business, have a clear vision and execute it, and so on and so forth. Nyang'anga. Hey, Kujituma. Thank you, team. I don't want to add anything, just to say, really, the minute you decide to be the CEO of your business, you decide to do what Father Lucas said, if it has to be, it's up to me. And you sacrifice everything, you do whatever it takes. You don't want to imagine that things can fail to work because it's about you. Moving forward, team, I challenge us, each one of us, to look at what is it that I must do to make a difference in my business as far as being the CEO of my own business is concerned. Where have you been relaxing, not really doing much, being in a comfort zone, and you change that so that your business can grow? Otherwise, as Father Lucas closed by referring to us, we are all CEOs. Let's tune our minds like that. CEOs don't complain. CEOs don't lament. CEOs don't whine. CEOs don't give excuses. They take full responsibility. And if it has to work, it's all up to you. Thank you very much. We will pause at that so that we can take 5 minutes to do the recognition. Being the first week, we don't have so much, but let me go ahead and do recognition because we value recognizing whatever you've done, small or big. We give credit where it's due.